Hi, this is Prisma Lopez Marine on Monday with the Mayor, here with Mayor Terry Seitz.
Hi, good day to you.
Thank you, Mayor. So I understand that on Friday there was an event going on. Can you tell us about the event as we're here in the Hobbig Center?
Yes, this event, which is held here at the Hobbig Center, is an annual tree giveaway that the Park and Recreation Department of Jasper does. We give away 1,200 trees to the public, and this has been, I think, our 5th year for that. In addition, this past Friday, we had a very special connection that this giveaway was developed by Mike Oding, who is our recently passed Assistant Park Director. He died suddenly last fall, and in honor of him, we are also raising matching dollars to grow his foundation endowment. And it's currently at $5,000. We have a challenge match to raise $5,000, and they'll match it with $5,000. So by the end of the year, we want that to be $15,000. So we used that event last Friday to make that happen.
Wonderful. And can you tell us a little bit more about this center? I understand that it was the former house of the actual person who is named after.
This is correct. This is the house of Arnold Hobbig. Mr. Hobbig was one of the original founders of Kimball International and literally became the CEO. His son, one of his sons, Doug, just recently in the rollout of the companies to 2 different public entities, retired, but he was a CEO or the chairman of the board as well. So it's a tremendous family-owned operation that became a publicly owned company, but this is the Hobbig house. This portion of the Hobbig Center is actually the home. The garage was converted into a computer center. Generally, we're in an area on this main floor that is the department offices of the Jasper Park and Recreation Department. And then we have an addition that we'll see in a little bit that has actually more public functions. But you'll have in the area here of card playing, and there's some computer lessons being done, and then again the park office functions. So that's what's happening in the current main level of the house. It is generally much as it was, except for some fire doors and things, and conversion of bedrooms into actual office space.
Okay.
And it was donated along with the 9 acres this sits on, and you'll see a lot of use of hardwoods and lumber and things that are part of the house because Kimball International had a very strong wood background. You'll see some things that you just won't see elsewhere.
Okay. And as you give us kind of like a tour, would you kind of like initiate
Sure.
what's
We're gonna,
about?
we might surprise
Sure.
some people, Prisma, because they'll run away from the camera, but bear with me. As we look through here, really, we're going to look into the backyards. Again, we have a lot of species that were here that are not necessarily native to Indiana. They're a little harder to keep track as they've grown to be able to maintain them because they don't grow as well. But we have a 1/3 acre walking path around the property, and again, it is about 9 acres. So it's just a beautiful area. Usually, there's a red bird that just flew away. We'll have deer a lot of time that will literally come up to the door and watch people play cards and things like that. But it's a very active area right now, as it was built for an older American center or senior center for the county. We actually cover that for the entire county, not just Jasper. And then we have some park department programs that take place, and also public areas. So this is all open to the public every day, and even on Sundays they'll be here too. And it's also available to be rented out on the public side. So we'll talk more about that. But we'd like to house this, and as seniors have kind of come into the baby boomer time, it's one of our busiest areas in the city on a daily basis. In the sitting area of the Hobbig home, and you'll find some memorabilia from Mr. Hobbig and some of the things and some of the travels they had around the world. We operate this as now the welcome area of the center. We have a bust of Mr. Hobbig over here in the corner, and one of the things, as we would show, is that we have one, if not of the last Kimball pianos ever made in the world. They were made at French Lick, and on the back of the piano, we may ask your camera to get a still shot of that, is the signatures of all those who contributed in the making of this piano as it came off the line. We are actually in Mr. Hobbig's office, or study as he would have it in his house. Again, the solid wood paneling, the very inlaid desk, a very unusual type of desk that certainly is not made anymore, and the chairs. I've always heard a story, and it's kind of a charming story, that the chairs were made specifically to be very short so that there was some understanding of authority of who was actually in charge of the office if you were visiting. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but it fits the story very well. And they do sit very shortly, but this is just this is a bit of history. So if indeed that is true, or if it's more of a rumor, it's worth passing on, because people always comment about how low the chairs seem. So as we continue, we'll actually be going back into offices, but these used to be literally the living quarters, the bathroom areas. So they're not all the same, but the bathroom still is. Yeah, you can kind of see when the home was built, I believe in the 70s or early 80s. And then again, many of these rooms have been former bedrooms and turned into other things. But they're currently office space for the City of Jasper Park and Recreation Department. And we'll kind of just continue down this hallway as you can see how they've been converted. And again, things have matched up. The break room for the Hobbig Center for Park Department staff, but also, there are a lot of cookies and things brought in. When you have seniors, they'll bring a lot of food and then have everybody else eat it. That's kind of my story. Here, Mayor, have this. Here, and the staff gets to eat it, and they're very nice because it's really good and homemade. But it's the original kitchen that the Hobbigs used, and you'll see even, I think the appliances have actually all done very, very well. But it's just kind of interesting how that comes out. And if you come this way, the garage has been converted into a computer center and game room. And so this was again formerly the garage, and we'll do computer lessons, and a lot of times the seniors are pretty sharp with computers. They no longer need lessons, so it's kind of fun as we look at that. But a nice conversion again as part of what the city did when they took it over. Everything from this part on was added. So Prisma and Jesse, as you come through here, everything that we're walking through now was an addition to the home, and this was put on to be essentially a public meeting space, and with a prep kitchen. That's what most people think of when they say the Hobbig Center. So as we come down this area, hi, Janessa. Janessa is our Director of Recreation for the Park and Recreation Department, and I know she doesn't want to be on TV, but I'll at least say hi.
Hi.
We'll talk to you another time about programs, because you need to talk to her about summer programs.
Okay, sounds great.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
So, and we have an upper level and lower level of both of these, which will take you to the lower level in a moment. But when people think of the Hobbig Center, they're generally thinking of this gathering space. It is available for rent, and it will seat about 200 people. And also, not sure if you can get a shot of the floor, but if you see the two different stains on the floor, this is a walking track. 28 laps is a mile. So that's why the different floor could be done, because people could use it to walk. And they kind of keep track of that. So this is your first view of this, Prisma. I'm interviewing you now.
Well, I actually was wondering about the community service and charity work that Mr. Hobbig was in charge of.
He dedicated a building. I think the nursing building on the Vincennes University Jasper campus is named his as beneficiary of his generosity as well, and his family, because not only did they have that, they've also kept some endowing part of that to help with maintenance and things. So it's been very important, and there are probably numerous other things that none of us will ever know about, but this enabled a fully functioning operation that the city, I think, and our citizens, and actually all of the county has certainly thoroughly enjoyed, and we like it a lot. This is an exercise room that's available for the seniors. We also make this available through our wellness program for City of Jasper employees, and it gives us an option to work with. But the machines that have been added and used, there's some weight machines. There's generally more or less aerobic type machines are used quite often, and make a good use of a basement, frankly. So we're under the actual original home right now. And our next stop will be kind of really almost a museum of some more artifacts and things from the Hobbig family. We're in more of a memorabilia room from Mr. Hobbig's career and life, and a lot of it was brought in by Mrs. Hobbig. Mr. Hobbig was married twice, and his widow actually has returned to Arizona and is now retired there, but she helped put this room together and kind of keep it alive, and I don't have all the stories for it, but it's in the lower level. It's also become kind of a little bit of a library for us. A lot of times people donate books, but when you're coming down wanting to grab some things, these are certainly materials available to anyone that's at the center to be able to use here, and then of course return while they are here.
So a lot of the places that we visited today so far has such a variety, from catering to the senior population as well as where we are right now. Could you talk more about the variety that it holds?
I can. We transitioned actually to a place that this is used a lot of times for some pretty significant games for seniors as well when they have overflow, but also we're in a lower level of the Hobbig Center, the newer addition under what people mainly think of with our public room. And this is used for our Camp for Kids program. And Camp for Kids is a summer program, and they gather here. It's a structured environment with instructors to basically learn things. They'll do a lot of nature walks, and as we look out of those windows, it's just a beautiful area to have a little playground and let the kids out and get that energy burned off and then come back in here and concentrate. So we have an 8-week program that'll be kicking off. Generally, it's June, July, and again, ask people to contact the Park Department at 812-482-5959. Talk to Janessa and make sure you get enrolled into that. But it's really a come and go. You could actually come twice a week, once every day, and we also do programs for kids at other parks in the city, but this is where Camp for Kids operates. Then we also have in the summer Camp Care, which is a program for special needs adults and students that the park department runs, and gosh, we've had some campers that have been going to that for 25 years. And again, they are adults. We do run it. We do run a pickup service to their home to bring them here for evening activities a couple of times a week, and sometimes we'll use some of the space for that too. But for the most part, you can kind of see the chairs are a little bit small for the two of us.
Mayor, so I understand that there are several trees from all over Indiana in the actual property here at the center.
That is correct, and it's by design. Kimball International was based, as many of Jasper's heritage industries, in the wood manufacturing industry. And while just last week we celebrated the 50th anniversary of Kimball Electronics through the Governor Pence's office, so the electronic division has been around for a half a century, Mr. Hobbig chose to honor their heritage that he was familiar with from his time in the wood industry, and planted many, again, species of trees that just normally are not seen together. And they're maturing, and some of those are a challenge, of course, as they get older to take care of and properly do that, but we do the best of our ability. And we have, again, as you may have seen in the camera, this is the 1/3 mile walking trail on the outside that is also available, and that's open to the public too. I mean, all of this is open to the public. There are gates. The official gates to the entry are out in front, but they're not shut, and we welcome people to certainly walk this trail in the daylight hours as well if they'd like to. It's probably one of our little hidden secrets that people may not realize, that this 3rd mile trail around here exists, and it's beautiful. And we'll have some flowers that'll be coming up too as well this summer.
Thank you, Mayor Terry Seitz, for being here with us and for showing us this great center.
It really is. It's a fine asset for the city of Jasper, and as we look at currently, people have contacted us and they've made some gifts to Jasper, and certainly we've had families that have helped out the parklands and setting that up. And well, we have had such luxurious, beneficial residents of Jasper that enable these things to happen, that with a little private money, a little public money, and all of a sudden we have in place these facilities that can be used for generations, and we're just a very fortunate city.
Absolutely. I understand that this was a gift actually from the family, the Hobbig family, and so it's such a wonderful gift to provide for Jasper.
It sure is, and we're very grateful and glad to show it off a little bit.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Monday with the Mayor. This is Prisma Lopez Marine on 18 WJTS.